Okay, so hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Rickeys Reviews, where today we are finally capping off the Jurassic World franchise by covering the newest film in the Jurassic World trilogy. Or not trilogy anymore, I don't know what 4 movies in a row is called, but today we are covering, drumroll please, I forgot this timer takes like 20 years to go, but today we are covering Jurassic World Rebirth. So this movie came out in 2025 and was directed by Gareth Edwards, who is the same guy that made the 2014 Godzilla movie. So my hopes were pretty high for this one coming out, and after what happened in Jurassic World Dominion, I was really wanting for a good Jurassic World movie, which you'll definitely see reflected in the Jurassic World / Jurassic Park ranking movie that is coming out very soon. I'm gonna get this video out, then probably do a few more Christmas movies for Ricky's reviews, and then I'll have that ranking video out. I'm hoping maybe January or February of next year, 2026. But yeah, we'll see about that. And another thing about the director of this movie, Gareth Edwards, he also made Star Wars: Rogue One, and those are both that and Godzilla are pretty good movies. So my hopes were pretty high set for this one, and I watched it opening night when it came out with my family, and I'll just say, just starting out the video, that it exceeded my expectations. To be completely honest, I really enjoyed this movie. After watching what happened in Jurassic World Dominion, where it kind of, had almost nothing to do with dinosaurs and it was more a locust bug subplot, this definitely was a back to basics approach for the film. And while I know some people are like, oh, it's playing it too safe, but honestly, I think it's good playing it safe in this one, because ever since in the Jurassic World trilogy, after about Jurassic World 1, then in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, they kind of jumped the shark in a way with those movies. They tried some new ideas that just some of them didn't stick. But in this, it's a very play it safe kind of movie, and it's kind of a back to basics for the Jurassic franchise, which is definitely something that I think it needed. But right now, we're going to get into what I liked and disliked about the film, so yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so to get into likes for the film. First thing I liked about it was the simplicity of the plot. Now, spoilers for it, but the plot for this movie is that Martin Krebs, the main guy of the film, or the main villain, I should say, wants to gather mercenaries together to go to this island to get samples of 3 different creatures in order to make a medical cure to save. Yeah, it's just a cure for cancer, pretty much. That's what it is. And it's a pretty simplistic premise, and obviously, if you've seen the movie, spoilers again, it goes wrong and he lied to them. He just wants the DNA and the stuff for money. He wants to exploit the cure, and yeah, pretty simple villain motive and stuff. And that honestly works for this movie. Like, we don't need what Dodson was in Dominion, where he's like, oh, I'm gonna use these locusts to do this and this, and then we don't need what I can't even remember his character's name in Fallen Kingdom, who just wanted to militarize dinosaurs. Like, it's just something simple that gets all these characters onto the island. And another thing about this movie I'll get with the characters. This movie doesn't spend too much time on the introduction for the characters. Like, maybe each character's introduction, like you meet Zora Bennett, then you meet Dr. Loomis, then you meet Duncan. They're pretty quick going scenes, so we're not like dwindling too much on the exposition, so we can just get into the action, because I think at this point Universal and the people that work on the Jurassic Park and World films know what the people want. They just want to see dinosaurs. They want to see dinosaurs kill people. They want to see dinosaurs in action, and that actually is a pretty good transition. That this movie has a lot more action and like almost chase-oriented scenes. Like, you see the scene right now with the Quetzalcoatlus. This is honestly, this one I really like seeing in the theater, because just with the sound design and everything. And that's another thing. This movie does a really good job with sound and set design. Like, you get some really cool sweeping like drone shots of things. You get cool shots of the mountain ranges and the trees. And then it works pretty well with the sound design, with the ambience and everything of just like different dinosaurs, like, oh, who's behind here, who's behind there, that sort of thing. But yes, those were things that I liked. Now we'll get into some things that I didn't like. So first thing, and this one was one that really bugged me while I was watching the movie itself. So the whole big villain, at least in the marketing that you see, is the D-Rex. It was put in all the trailers, it was put in all the toys. It was even like had its design hidden in the posters and stuff for about a good month before the movie came out. And you're like, okay, so this is going to be the big bad of the film, like how Jurassic World had the Indominus Rex. Jurassic World 2 had the Indoraptor, then Jurassic World 3 had the Giga. And even in that movie, the Giga was used more, but in Jurassic World Rebirth, the D-Rex really only shows up for 3 scenes, I believe. It shows up in the beginning, it shows up, you hear its roar in like the beginning of the 3rd act, and then it shows up at the end, and that's it. It doesn't show up that much, and it just like has such an anticlimactic ending with the D-Rex. Like, it shows up, it kills Martin Krebs, bites him because he's the human villain. You know he's gonna die. He's gonna get his comeuppance. But then that's it for the D-Rex. There's no climactic big final battle, and not every movie needs one. We just get this thing as this almost like it just shows up and then that's it. It doesn't do much in the movie. It doesn't really pose a threat to our main characters, and that's another thing I didn't really like. It seemed like everyone had a lot of plot armor, and that's something that I heard in the behind the scenes. Mahershala Ali's character of Duncan originally was going to die in the film, and I had assumed when he does that flare bit at the end with the D-Rex, that was probably going to be his death, but he somehow survives it, and the movie just never explains it. So I don't know what changed that made his character not die in the writing process, or maybe it was in the filming process, I'm not sure, but it just that's another thing I didn't like. The characters had a lot of plot armor, the D-Rex didn't really show up a lot, and it just kind of, it was just strange. But yeah. And for my favorite scene of the film, that is the one that is playing now with the Quetzalcoatlus, mostly because of its suspense and just the tension in the scene. And ultimately, it gives us a really brutal kill where one of the guys that is with Duncan, I can't remember his character's name, gets eaten by the Quetzalcoatlus, eaten whole and alive. And yeah. And that is my review for Jurassic World Rebirth. And one new thing I want to do for this movie is say who my 2 favorite actors of the film were. And that will go to Mahershala Ali as Duncan Kincaid and Scarlett Johansson as Zora Bennett. And that is a new thing I'll keep doing with these films. I'll say who my 2 favorite actors are. And yeah, that's my review for Jurassic World Rebirth. And if I have to give this film a rating, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.